Hi, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of Am I the Asshole podcast. I'm Los Angeles Danny Vega, joined by my lovely, lovable New York-based co-host, Sarah Levine. Sarah, how are you today?
Oh, well, we had a technology mishap. My memory card broke. I ran to CVS. I bought the wrong thing.
You hate to hear it, folks. Tech, it is the great empowerer, but boy, is it frustrating. Speaking of tech, Sarah, you're not even ready for the stupidity that has fallen upon me and truly caused a tremendous amount of misery.
Oh?
Well, as you know, I'm still in the throes relatively of a breakup, and moving is, wonderful. It's like, it's novelty. I'm eating burritos compulsively. I think I put down 7 burritos.
Today?
I've been here,
No.
not today.
Okay.
I've been here 6 days. I put down 7 burritos. Let me say first, folks, I had a misconception. Maybe it was naivete, but now coming to LA as an older man, dare I say, there are a lot of burrito gotchas. I have been let down several times by burrito dealers near my home, and it's been rather crushing to realize that I don't have a great burrito 100 yards away from me.
Oh, that is a bummer.
It is a bummer, but I can say a lot of other people have told me, well, LA is the donut capital, Danny. It's the donut. And I have to say, there is a donut shop even closer to me, and the donuts are fire.
Oh, there we go.
So the donuts are delivering, but of course, I've done some searching. I've done some Googling. Yes, people, I've even done some Yelping. Yeah, I did delete my Yelp account, by the way, but that's a story for a different day. And I found some amazing burritos about a mile or two away. I don't have a car yet, so in New York terms, that's still very frustrating, but in LA terms, that's right nearby. So that's the burrito update. Now, Sarah, I'm moving. Moving fucking sucks. Shout out to any friend who has ever helped their friend move. My friend Mike helped me a lot. Michael Scarson, who was just on the show, coming in clutch. King, but it's lonely and it's scary to be somewhere new, to leave the familiar, to leave the city, of course, everything that comes with that. And so that has had me, I have already cried on the streets of LA. So
oh my God. Making yourself actually, at home.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. So me and my ex had this joke about this obscure product. I doubt you've ever noticed it, but it is actually fairly ubiquitous. It's used in home construction, and it's called Tyvek Home Wrap. Have you ever noticed this, Sarah?
Oh, yeah. They put it on the houses.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we just thought it was funny because it's like you've seen it 100 times, but probably never registered it. And then there's just something very it sounds like nonsense, Tyvek Home Wrap. It sounds like computer-generated nonsense, And so sure enough, I'm walking on the streets of LA, and what do I see? Some Tyvek Home Wrap, the ever-reliable home wrap, and I just start freaking bawling.
Oh, my God.
So anyway, I'm like kind of going through the thick and the thin, whatever. So then I go to the beach, and my ex and I had spent a lot of time on the beach. So I start crying on the beach. And I'm like, well, it finally passes. I get some new running shoes. I'm like, we're going to turn this day around. All right, this is these are just tears that had to come out.
Oh, my God.
Everything's going to be great. And my friend's like, you know what you should do, man? Just run into the ocean with me, all right?
What?
And I was like,
not
I don't
with
really...
Your sneakers?
No, not with the sneakers. Not with the sneakers.
Okay, good.
He's like, just do it. Don't think about it. And I was like, I don't know. I really don't go into the ocean in New York, and it's always so cold. He's like, trust me, it's not as cold as you think. Just do it. So I take out my wallet. I take out my phone. I'm barefoot, and I run into the ocean. And he was right, and I dived into the ocean, and it was not as cold, and it was a wonderful, refreshing feeling. And then I realized my only pair of prescription glasses has been taken by the Pacific.
Oh, no.
So we proceed to search. God bless my friends, Ben and Mike. We're searching, but in a way, they're really just humoring me because, get real, folks, the Pacific does not return your Warbies.
Oh, no. There's no return policy.
There's not. There's no one you can go to. I think it was Ben who joked. He's like, do you want me to go to the lifeguard and have them drain the ocean for you? I was like, yes, please. Yeah. Let's get everybody out.
Is that so much to ask?
So now on top of all this emotional turmoil, I can't see. I haven't been
hate
able
that.
to see for 48 hours. And, joke's on me because I didn't have a backup, and it had occurred to me many times to get backup glasses just in case. And
Did you
it
have
just gave
contacts
me.
at least, or you're just
Nope.
like, dang?
I've never had contacts, so
Wow.
to steal the Jabuki tweets, I
I was
was
gonna say
raw
raw
dogging
dogging it.
raw dog in reality, couldn't see shit, and like I think my astigmatism got a little worse, so like it's not that I can't see, it's just it kind of gives me a headache to look at shit. Everything's kind of double.
It's so
really annoying.
frustrating, I feel like, to be without my glasses. It's like, oh, everything is totally blurry, even stuff right in front of my face.
Ugh, the worst, Sarah. So on top of all this, I have to get all the basics because I sort of delusionally was like, I'll go to LA, I'll have a mattress and a bed, and that's all you need. No. That's not all you need. You need toilet paper. You need paper towels.
Oh,
you need
yeah.
cups. And so I have to
Napkins.
I'm doing Target runs, and Sarah, I'm hemorrhaging money on Ubers. And not only
Yeah.
that, Sarah, I'm waiting on average 10, 15 minutes for an Uber, which
That
is
is so
unheard
annoying.
of. So finally, whatever, I'm picking it up, and I was like, I feel like Tuesday could be a vibe shift because so I run to Lens Crafters. They're the only people who could do fast glasses for me. I'm not really trying to promote them, but if you are ever in a pinch such as mine, Lens Crafters
I've gotten glasses from Lens Crafters. I feel like I have no qualms.
They turned it around in 24 hours. I got to give them props. Nobody else could do it that I could find. So, so I'm like going through all this. And then today, things just started happening. My packages got here. So now I have clothes and pillows
Woo.
and like my nice shit from New York is
Moving
here.
on up.
Moving on up. And then my friend had been like, oh, Lyft is the same as Uber. Don't even bother. But I was like, let me just try Lyft. Boom. $12 Lyft. That is the cheapest ride I've paid for in Los Angeles.
Oh, shit.
I'm over the moon. I got the glasses. I can see again. My shit is here. Things are coming together, people.
I can see clearly now. My glasses are here. I love it.
Yeah.
I feel like you haven't moved into a new city until like you've had a very dramatic series of unfortunate events happen like all at the same time.
brutal. But no, I mean, things are turning around, and I have had a great time hanging with my friends and stuff, and I know I'm going to drift out of the breakup haze pretty soon here. It's definitely taking longer. It always takes longer than you think, but you just got to let it pass.
Well, that's great. That is great.
Yeah, what's the haps with you? I'll move away from what's the juice so I don't pry.
Well, I went to the hot dog eating contest on Coney Island. It was so great. I honestly feel like you'd like it. It's really fun.
Oh, I'm sure I would. What a shame that I didn't go. I never went. Did you see did they throw up? I mean, what happened there?
I mean, one guy potentially threw up. It was very unclear if he was just really messy or threw up. I try not to ask questions. I saw history being made. Joey Chestnut broke his record for the most hot dogs eaten in 10 minutes. 76,
Wow.
in case you're wondering.
I'm just picturing that Spider-Man meme where it's like the two Spider-Men pointing at each other and they look identical, and one of them is Joey Chestnut last year and the other is Joey Chestnut
pretty
this
much.
year.
I think last year he got 75. Like,
nobody's coming close, right? I mean, he's just been upping his own record. It's just Joey Chestnut against himself.
It really is. It's like it was exciting to watch this year, but in past years, I feel like it hasn't even been exciting because there's no close second place. Same thing with the women. I mean, there was like this one woman, Mickey Sudo. Now I think she's pregnant, so she took a year off. But she was just dominating also. So it's kind of like the stakes. I mean, the stakes are high, but, it's not a very exciting contest. But it's fun to watch just because of the sheer, like, what the fuck factor of watching all these people just, like, scarf down these hot dogs.
I think I'm lifting a tweet here, but someone pointed out the hot dog eating contest is like the most American thing possible.
Sure.
It's gluttony, it's decadence, it's waste, and we love it, people.
Yes,
we do.
It's meat in a tube. Like, it doesn't get more American than that.
Yeah, it's artificial processed, quote unquote, meat that may or may not be pork or tuna. No one knows what it is. It's everything.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's great. And did you go out with the boy, with the crew?
Yeah, he came. It was a good time. We got these free hot dog hats. Those are fun. I still have mine. Yeah, it
Ooh,
was
I
a good
love a hot
time.
dog
He liked
hat.
it.
That's great. That's great. Now we did get a review.
Oh.
We got a very positive review.
Good.
We got a 5-star Reno, but I want to start with this 3-star review
Oh,
we got.
not this.
You don't want to do it? I want to do it.
All right.
I want this person to feel heard because I need everyone to like me, which is not a healthy compulsion.
Yeah, Danny, it's not healthy, but let's go.
It's a problem, but
It's like I just feel like I'm gonna say what I actually think, and I think that's gonna alienate this person further.
I think we can be honest, though. Let me just tell you guys what went down here. They wrote, title, Stop Pushing Patreon, 3 stars. I like this pod, but I don't know how much longer I can listen. Every 5 minutes, it's please subscribe to our Patreon. It's so amazing, blah, blah, blah. Not everyone has the money to subscribe. Not everyone wants to spend their money that way. It drives me nuts every time I listen. Give me a break, 96. So they even went in on the username there. I give them credit for the thoroughness of that. Look, dear listener, here's the thing. First of all, can I just say, just objectively, and I think Sarah can back me up on this. I think we don't have any ads on the show.
We don't
All I
have
do
ads.
is promote the pod.
It's
all
also
I do is
3 times an episode, literally.
It's 3 times.
Not really. Also, one is at the end, so it's like you can tab out by that point. You don't even need to listen.
Yeah, I don't think it's too much, but and just comparing, I like to listen. I've been getting into the Conan podcast. I really enjoy Conan O'Brien, and God, that podcast just opens. Just you put it on, and it's a minute and a half of ads. So I feel by comparison, it's pretty reasonable, dear listener. And this is, and we have done the math on this, and we put a lot of hours into it. So I just kind of want you to see our side a little bit, because I understand if it can be huckstery. And look, I understand that it's annoying because it's not content. It's just like me hucking. I get that. But we put in, Sarah, collectively, how many hours a month are we putting into the pod? It's dozens. It's dozens.
Yeah.
I'm putting out guest episodes. I'm hustling for you, dear listener. So that's my side. So I guess I just hope to say, maybe when you listen, instead of thinking like this is annoying, by the way, there's a skip 15 seconds button, or maybe it's skip 30 seconds button right there on your phone. But I get it. If you're driving, maybe you can't click that. And I want to also say, and I don't know if Sarah's cool with this, but this is how I feel. If anybody wants the bonus episodes and sincerely can't afford it, all I ask is that you simply reach out to me and say just as much, because I've been there. I've been broke, and if you truly want that and you can't afford it, I'm not one to be like, oh, screw you.
Yeah, it's like, listen, this is a free podcast. It's like it's already a free content. I feel like I had more to say. Oh, the thing is, the reason we remind you guys so many times is because it's actually been very effective for us, which is great. Obviously we understand that not everybody wants to subscribe to a Patreon, but people do. So that's all I'll say before I say something mean. It's like, it's already free content. Like, what more do you want? We can't. You want free content that we're just putting out for the goodness of our hearts forever, and that's not realistic. So just skip the ads. It's not even an ad. Just skip it.
Yes, and you can skip right now, dear listener, because I'm about to plug a little bit. Join us on Patreon, folks. Rate, review, and subscribe. We're having a ton of fun. We got the WhatsApp. We got a happy hour tonight. It won't be tonight when you're hearing this. But anyway, we have bi-weekly happy hours. We're even doing an Australian happy hour for our Australian listeners. I'm very excited about this. It was an extreme headache to coordinate this thing. Let me tell you, 17-hour time difference, that shit hurt my head so bad.
Brutal.
But we did it. We also got a 5-star review, so let's not ignore the gems. Hello from the UK. So let me pronounce this correctly. Hello from the UK. I've been listening to this podcast for a few weeks now. I really enjoy it. If you love Tales of Morality, then you'll love this. Thank you, guys. What a gem. Thank you so much,
I feel like we're going to
Hannah.
get a 1-star follow-up for that terrible accent.
That's very fair. If you criticize my accents, then you're 100% in the right. ITA can't be denied.
Love that, though.
Love that. Thank you so much for that review. All right, guys, let's get into some Guess the Verdict. AITA for not telling my sister-in-law that a vegan cookie is still a cookie.
That a vegan cookie is still a cookie?
That's it.
Gotta be joking. I'm going NTA.
NTA is right.
Hey.
The Guess the Verdict master is here, folks. So basically the story is that sister-in-law enforces a rather intense diet upon her 10-year-old daughter. And OP wanted to make some cookies because they're vegan. I guess the kid only... they said that the kid is vegan, but for good reason. So I don't know what that's about exactly.
I don't know what that means.
Whatever, that's her standard. She's a mother, so, let a mom. OP does due diligence, gives her a ring and says, hey, these are vegan cookies. Is that fine? And she says, yes, that's fine. Makes the cookies, they eat a reasonable amount, and then the sister-in-law shows up, I guess, at the house and sees the cooks. She blows a gasket, says, what the heck is this? This is what you meant by cookies? And he's like, yes, by cookies, I meant cookies.
In fact, meant a cookie.
OP kind of fires off during this exchange and says, I didn't think I had to tell you that a cookie is a cookie.
Yeah.
Hey, sister-in-law, that corn chowder has corn in it. Starchy tuber with the top verdict. NTA, sister-in-law seems joyless, self-righteous. You did nothing wrong. Folks, we got it in the wild. OP did nothing wrong. You'll love to hear it. Call her in advance to ask if it was okay to make these cookies was going above and beyond. Well, I don't know if I agree with above and beyond. It seems very reasonable of a move given that this is how she manages the diet. But yeah, and they say she should have asked for the recipe at that point if she's going to be so militant. Corn chowder line was gold.
Lighten up. You're going to give your kid eating issues.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I wish we had gotten the reason for the intense dieting, but we didn't.
That's true. It could be an allergy, but I kind of am feeling like it's not. Nobody has a cookie allergy. Just to all cookies. That's not. All right. AITA for complaining to my wife about not getting up to feed our daughter.
Oh, I feel like we've been down this road many times before. I mean, I'm just going to go with gut here because this is a lazy father, YTA.
Yes, you would think so, and I thought so too. This is what I don't get. So OP's daughter is 2 years old. Okay. And the daughter got up at around 2 a.m. to ask for a bottle, which happens almost every night. Which to me, I don't get because that seems old. But nonetheless, they split up who gets up to give the daughter the bottle. So the wife, I guess, has the day off, but was supposed to take her brother to airport very early. The daughter starts crying for a bottle. OP's like, babe, can you get that? The wife ignores it. Then OP gets pissed off. He's like, that's fucked up. I have to be up at 5 a.m. for work. So OP gets the bottle. And then when the wife comes back, when he comes back, the wife is like, well, I have to be up early to take my brother to the airport. And then blah, blah, blah. OP is just like, that's not my problem. You shouldn't be going to sleep so late. And all this other shit. So the top comment was, ESH, you both sound kind of petty, to be honest. Poor kid.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think, God, I mean, maybe the verdict is right, but it's kind of like these are two overworked, stressed out parents. This is brutal. I mean, waking up in the middle of the night is brutal. Another part of my moving saga, actually, is that I didn't get curtains. There's no curtains here, and I didn't think that'd be that big of a deal, But turns out there's a security light right outside my window, and so it's low-key daylight in my room at night, and I need a room to be very close to pitch black. So that was a brutal first night here.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta get. It's funny because I spent so long on all these types of insane blackout curtains, and then finally I just had the idea I will just bring the blackout curtain to my face, and I got an eye mask, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
Game changer.
I might look into that, but I in the past I have not liked the eye mask. I feel it on my face, but
Yes, you do. I tend to do that.
AITA for making my daughter's cheer team lose.
Making my daughter's what lose? Cheer team?
Cheer team, as in cheerleaders.
Making them lose.
We should do this like a spelling bee where you could be like origin,
Yes, please use it in a different sentence.
Reddit. It's Reddit, Sarah. It's from Reddit.
I know, right? Interesting. Okay, well, I would think YTA, but it's like maybe it's one of those things like, oh, you didn't make them do anything. Maybe they did something bad.
There we go.
I'm going
That's
to
the
go
Sarah
with
song.
a rogue NTA, even though my gut is saying YTA, but I'll go NTA.
Wow. She truly is the master, guys. I mean, it's like embarrassing. It really is. I mean, it's embarrassing and it's an honor. NTA is 100% right.
Wow.
OP's daughter is basically a super talented cheerleader. She's so good. She's the blatant star of the sort of program she's involved in. She's actually billed on the flyers and whatnot. Now, what happened is that she threw up at practice. Mother was understandably upset. She said to coach pretty firmly, like, hey, if that ever happens again, call me. The coach showed no apology, no remorsefulness, and basically said, actually, I really won't call you.
Oh.
Mom basically is like, okay, well, I'm going to start looking at other options. She searches around, and sure enough, she does find another cheer program or whatever. I don't really know how these things are divided. A cheer cult, whatever. And the thing about it is, she pulled her daughter, right away. And remember I said she was on the flyers. Well, there was a big event, so the coach was like, "Oh, well, you're making us lose. You're not giving us enough time to prepare." Blah blah blah. All these reasons.
Ah, interesting.
Mephisto 131 NTA, that coach is overworking those kids, and that isn't healthy. If a kid's throwing up because of how hard they're being worked, that's a health threat and not something your kid should be dealing with. Also, the coach saying things like, quote unquote, she didn't seem sick is moronic because she threw up. You didn't make the team lose. You got your kid out of a potentially hazardous and toxic team environment as soon as you became aware of it.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right.
Absolutely. I threw up once from exercising, and it was terrible.
Ugh,
I mean, it's
hate that.
very serious. Yeah.
Hate that. Okay, AITA for not wanting to return a cat to his rightful owner.
Oh, we have been down this road before as well.
So many times.
I mean, again, I'm being dumb, but I'm just gonna go with my gut and say YTA. The Redditors hate when you take someone's pet.
I know, right? They do, but here's a twist. Okay, OP's family has a cat named Roxo. I don't know, that's not really relevant. I just think that's a cute name.
Relevance, Your Honor. Relevance.
Yeah, objection. Yeah, so Roxo is a black cat. He has white paws, and he has this like specific triangle-shaped patch in the middle of his belly that's white. So they found him as a kitten last July, and like I guess he was just lost roaming around. They took him to the vet. He didn't have a microchip. They asked around the neighborhood. Nobody recognized him. So finally, they adopted him. Fast forward to now, a lady from about 9 streets up moved next door. When she met Roxo, she said, "Oh, he looks just like one of my cat's babies." Unfortunately, she died in a car accident July of last year, a couple weeks after she gave birth. So now she wants to keep the cat because she thinks that Roxo is her cat. So the top comment from Wild Possum Lover, great nickname, although I do have questions, was NTA. She hasn't really missed him all this time. You've had him, pay the vet bills, fallen in love with him. She can just get another cat. But now I fear she might try to steal him.
Wait, I'm sorry. I think I was confused. Go back to the title real quick.
AITA for not wanting to return a cat to his rightful owner.
Oh, interesting. Dang. Yeah, I feel like we really did this situation, and they ruled heavily against the OP. And I remember fixating on the bond that was created. It was only like an 8-month gap, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Well, Am I the Asshole isn't the most consistent thing in the world. But Sarah, I think that was a blowout. I think, Woo. Did you get both of those right?
I think so.
Wow, 2-0. The Guess the Verdict Queen. Her reign cannot be refuted, guys. Guys, please rate, review, subscribe. Now I'm very self-conscious when I do this. Please join us on Patreon. We're having a ton of fun. Patreon.com/ AITA pod. All right, let's get right
and we have some new patrons.
Yes.
We have Zoe, Christina, and Ghost Jeff, and I really hope that's their name.
Love it. Ghost Jeff.
We're
That's
inclusive.
classic.
We even have ghosts.
Even got Ghost. Our second story of the day. AITA for throwing my roommate's McChicken sandwiches out without telling him first. I don't think I've seen a McDonald's product make the title in a while.
I know.
AITA for telling the truth in the wedding toast. Funny story, Sarah. I actually did this for Guess the Verdict and had to redo it.
Dang.
I'm so happy we're doing it because it is loaded with juice.
Oh, awesome.
I'm a 30-year-old male, and my best friend got married last week. I just bought a house, and my wife is expecting our son in November. So I let him know I was limited in what I could contribute financially, but I told him I'd try my best. So I went to the bachelor party in Maine, I rented the tux, and paid for mine and my wife's dinner at the rehearsal dinner. I also had a gift of $300 that I was going to give them, but we'll get to why I didn't. His, now wife, then fiance, texted me multiple times a day with updates. Fine. I didn't always respond, and it got to the point where if I didn't respond at least once a day, I'd get a call from my buddy. I have a full-time job, and I'm redoing some rooms in my house, so I'm busy. She texted me for the following reasons. 1, my wife was not allowed to talk about her pregnancy at all. She didn't want anyone to focus on that more than her, the bride.
Jeez.
2, she was not going to order special food for my wife. No one asked her to. My wife was fine with whatever she was going to be served.
Unless the menu is like all sushi and charcuterie.
Right. 3, I was not helping the groom enough. He had to help her with favors, seating charts, and programs, so I had to help him with those things according to her. She also said to get ready to help with thank you notes after the wedding.
No.
4, she said if he just said no.
I can't believe this.
4, she said if I was a true best man, I would offer to pay for the bar bill. I don't even know what that means. 5, she had to read and approve my speech before the rehearsal dinner and wanted to be included as much as my buddy. She told me to make up things if I had to. I was also not allowed to include anyone but the two of them, and no inside jokes or stories about my buddy that didn't include her.
Oh my God.
6, her last text said to tell my wife to keep it together and not make a pregnancy scene during the wedding. Also, she wanted her to choose a dress that downplayed her pregnancy as much as possible. I was so aggravated. I spoke to my friend to see if he could reason with her. He told me to just play ball. It's her day and to cut him a break because he'd be dealing with her nonsense for the rest of his life. I was annoyed, but calmed down. The day of, all the bride and my buddy do is scold me, berate me, and bark orders. I head down to the bar for a drink. The bride's mother is there and warns me not to get drunk because I've ruined her daughter's day enough. Final straw. I didn't give them the card with the cash, and in the speech I used my friend's exact wording about having to deal with her nonsense for the rest of his life. I wished them the best and told him I'd always be there for him, especially during the divorce.
Oh, shit. Holy smokes. Oh, I want to watch this movie.
This is...
Wow.
Wow.
Lots of red flags. I think paying for your share at the rehearsal dinner is one. And like, I don't know. I understand, obviously, like brides, you want to be the center of attention on your special day. And that's fair, I think. But obviously what is not is like, and what people need to understand sometimes is you will by default be the focus of your wedding because it's your wedding and you're going to look the prettiest. And also everybody's there for you. And there's no need to like micromanage everybody else's lives so that you can get more attention when you're going to get the most attention by default.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to extract a general kind of principle from this. I mean, I see obviously, I do think kind of to lightly defend this woman, I do think that a wedding tends to be a sort of climax of controllingness for people. You know, I genuinely hope that this incident, this event is what is kind of propelling this level of I think micromanagement is a good way to put it. But I think it does reach a point of blatant. I mean, look, you know what? Micromanagement is perfect because what micromanagement really boils down to is like disrespect. Because it's kind of like if you're a boss telling me to do some tiny thing, it's like, yeah, just let me do it. Like,
Yeah.
you pay me to do this. Like, let me just do it. I'll figure out the best way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and that feels disrespectful and toxic. And I think like telling someone to like play down their pregnancy so much and repeatedly emphasizing it. And by the way, this also evoked another situation we recently did where I think a lot of people, a lot of women were very reactive to the fact that, remember the girl with the big boobs? And then it was like, oh, well, don't show off your boobs at the wedding. A lot of people didn't like that because that's controlling women's bodies.
Oh, yeah, that was nuts. Yeah, I agree. I think like, it's like there can be a time and place to remind people that this is your day. Like, I mean, I feel like for every one of these, like, not for everyone, it's probably like a 1-to-3 ratio, but whatever. Like, I'll see stories about, oh, this guy genuinely thought it would be fine to propose at his friend's wedding, or this person really announced their pregnancy, or people just have like trashy family members who start fights. And like, if you know that that's your family, then I think, okay, fine. That's okay to expectations set going in. But there's no indication, that these people were going to try to upstage her wedding.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think one of the more alarming things, too, where you're literally solving a non-problem. And this really is such a warning sign of just over control and kind of just you're making yourself miserable solving problems that don't exist, is when she texted OP just to say that she's not ordering special food for his wife. It's like,
right.
Nobody even said that. Why?
Nobody said that. And the other thing is, too, this is where they should have really just started to distance themselves from this wedding, was that the best man does not help with favors. The best man does not help with seating charts. The best man also absolutely is not helping with thank you notes, and certainly not paying for your open bar. So these really should have been huge flashing signs that this person was just trying to like manipulate this guy into like giving up labor and also money.
Well, that's good to know. I mean, I think weddings have a lot of confusing aspects, so that didn't register as that heinous to me. But if that's non-standard,
oh my God, the thank you notes? No, it's like that's, first of all, you're getting all the gifts. So as a couple, you write the thank you notes. That is your job. I've also never heard, I mean, I guess it's one thing to like have people weigh in, but I've also never heard of the bridal party or anyone in the wedding party doing like seating arrangements. That's also the bride and groom's job.
Right.
And once again, your wedding party is not helping you foot the bill.
Right.
Jeez. And there was one other thing before that, too. Oh, yeah, it was the rehearsal dinner thing, which I haven't heard of that also. So lots of flags.
Paying for your own rehearsal dinner. Yeah, that did strike me as very wrong. I don't know why. I guess the bar tab felt like, yeah, you're the main bro, so you pick up the bar.
Not.
But yeah, I've never heard of someone doing the rehearsal dinner. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, what he did is brutal and a wedding ruiner. Yeah. Is that fair to say that it is kind of a, you know, it's brutal. Like there's no way emotionally I cannot see him or her getting out of the funk that would be over that wedding once he says that.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, yes, they made like a shitty day for you, but you ruined their wedding. And that's their one wedding. Like, it doesn't have the same meaning to you as it does to them.
Very true. Very true. Curious T writes, ESH. 1, groom knew he was marrying a piece of work, and instead of protecting his interests, he co-signed, aided, and abetted his wife's atrocious behavior.
Aiding and abetting is some murder? All right.
What is abetting?
I don't know. Can you abet without aiding? I thought you had to do both at the same time. I thought they go hand in hand.
Yeah, what the heck is a bet? You never hear about a bet. A bet really only makes an appearance in aiding and abetting, encouraging or assisting someone to do something wrong. Okay, so it's like the encouragement aspect.
Yeah.
Go ahead, do it. Kill him. Okay, going on to this comment. 2, his wife sucks for trying to regulate your wife's body, for allowing her insecurities to cloud her judgment, and being the very definition of a bridezilla. 3, you for not taking the high road and waiting until the very last minute to defend your wife's honor. Huh? how wife's honor? I did not perceive his wife as dishonored. It was rude, but
I didn't
do you
see
see
him
that?
address the wife at all in the speech.
Yeah, that seems like a stretch. Whatever. Look, dude, you were justified, but you had ample opportunity to jump off the crazy train before it got this far. Being a good friend means having the comfortability and latitude to say no when your friends are off the rails. Oh, I love that. We should get that on a mug.
Oh,
Being
for
a
sure.
good friend means being able to say no when your friends are off the rails. It's so true. This is just like,
and also just being a good friend is also calling your friends out when they're acting like outrageous.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Talk to me, writes ESH, but listen, you're my hero. Also be aware that your friendship might be over, if not for any other reason, that the new wifey will make it so. Look, I think OP's right. I think this has divorce written all over it.
For sure, but I think also until they divorce, I don't think that OP is going to hear from this friend.
Yeah, 100%. Suitable virus 8, ESH, YTA because you aired your dirty laundry in public. That is completely tactless. You should have simply refused to do a public toast. Don't say anything at all if you can't say anything nice. Bridezilla sucks.
Don't do a toast and don't give them the gift. Like, you contributed enough.
Yeah.
You don't
it's
have
true.
to, also, listen, it would be one thing. I think, depending on the vibe, saying, like, oh, you're going to put up with her for the rest of your life, that could be played off as a joke in a speech, but like actually saying that there's going to be a divorce, you can't say that in a wedding speech.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are going to be with OP, but I do think, it's a Pyrrhic victory. It's like, why are you going to do that? Because look, and this is really, because like, look, does she probably deserve to have her wedding ruined? I really probably kind of enjoy that. I think we all do because she's the antagonist. But
yeah, we love a little Schadenfreude, but,
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I think that the recognition here is that a wedding is ultimately a community event. So it's just going to create all these ripples. And really, that's where I like starting to look at this more as like a utility thing. Like, how much kind of pain are you causing? You're really going to kind of fuck shit up for everyone. It's going to create a really bad vibe. I mean, what about her mother and her father and the cousins? They drove in from Arkansas.
I also feel like it's going to just create a justification for bad behavior for like years to come, And like, this is just going to be a story that's going to be told like, it's just, all right.
Yeah, you mean she's going to leverage it against the husband and be like, well, your friend ruined our wedding.
Yeah. Or
Probably.
even just, well, my wedding was ruined.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all kind of love OP because it was badass and it was a movie moment, but I think I don't even know that I want to go all the way to justified asshole territory because, like, look, you're not helping no one by doing this.
Yeah.
That's really it. That's really it. You didn't benefit anybody by being brave in this situation.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It's like you got your little dig, but it's justified in the sense that like it's understandable, and I love to fantasize about popping off, but at the same time, it's not like she listened to that and had a come to Jesus moment. Like, I don't really think anything was helped.
100%. 100%. This just wasn't it. You didn't do anything good by doing that. Mm-hmm. AITA for telling the truth in the wedding toast. I think we agree it is an ESH.
Yeah.
All right, we got to round it out, Sarah. This is great. Sarah put this here. We did assholes in LA. Now we got to do assholes in New York.
Oh my
God. Let's do it.
Aside from everyone, the people who get on the subway before everybody else gets off.
Oh my God, the worst people in the world. The people who put their bags on the seats of the subway, and there's people standing. There's an old woman standing there. Why does your Coach bag need a seat?
What year is it? The people who just stop in the middle of the street to look at something. Like, we're on 22nd Street. It's not serious.
The tourists, yeah. In LA, the people on the beach, they call shoobies. They call those shoobies.
Like shoobies? Like from Rocket Power?
I don't know. I don't know what it's from, but I enjoyed it.
I love it.
The guy who always plays music at the park, and it's not good music, and he's always there. He's
Ugh.
always there, and he doesn't play the hits either. He plays weird stuff. It's like, can you please just learn one instrument? He has 9 different instruments, but he always plays the weirdest instrument, like an accordion or this like string instrument, and that he has a right to do it. But sir, the beats are not hot.
The
Please
beats
stop.
are not hot; they are cold. Wait, that actually is funny because I do feel this person was an asshole because we were on the subway and he was just playing his music like at full volume, just out of his phone speaker. And even
Oh,
worse
my
than
God.
that, it was Rick Astley. So I was like, "You're Rick-rolling this whole train." And also, it wasn't even like someone our age or younger. This guy was like 50 years old at least.
The guy who put the guys who put their hands on the smalls of people's back to get them to move.
I hate that. I feel like we've
The
touched on that a bunch, but I still agree that does suck and they are assholes.
Yes, this is the infamous source of the "there's no touching, sir." A man did this
yes.
to me, and then that's how I learned it was a widespread phenomenon. It happens to women all the time, and
yeah,
I looked at him
constantly.
and I said, "There's no touching, sir," and he got upset.
Oh my God, who else? New York. I mean, I don't know. The people who are like, I just love it here. Best city in the world. I'm in so much debt and I never sleep, but like, wouldn't be anywhere else.
Which is pretty much everybody.
Yep.
All right, that's assholes. Here we go. AITA for throwing my roommate McChicken sandwiches out without telling him first. My roommate loves the McChicken McDonald's sandwich. Good Lord. We get it. It's McDonald's. But he also loves saving money. For years, McChicken was $1 nationwide, and he would eat 10 to 15 of these sandwiches a day.
Oh my
Bullshit.
God.
This is a shit post. Well, this is bullshit. Our whole damn apartment smelled like McChicken. You would die. If you ate 10 McChickens
That's
a day
so
for even a
many.
week, you would die.
I could see one a meal, but even that's stretching it.
Well, a year ago, McDonald's started increasing the price on Mac chickens to $1.59, a 60% increase. I have noticed this increase, and it is sad. But let me just say, Little Caesars Pizza is still at $5, which I'm pretty impressed by. Anyway.
Nice.
My roommate freaked out and started buying McChickens by the truckload. Our fridge
How?
had as many as 100 McChickens in at a time. He wanted to buy as many McChickens for $1 as he could before our McDonald's increased the price.
I mean, I know that there's a lot of preservatives in McDonald's, but is it that much preservatives that you can be saving them by the truckload?
I guess if you freeze them. Things got
Ew.
out of hand last month when he bought a meat freezer. Oh my God, there's no, I really want this to be fake.
This can't
Collected
be real.
as many as 700 McChickens and had a toaster oven to heat them back up. I was pissed. Everything smelled like McChicken everywhere. On top of that, the electricity on the meat freezer probably cost us more than the damn price increase on McChickens. No, freezers are actually very efficient. I lost my mind. I unplugged the meat freezer when he left and let them rot. When he came back, they were moldy and ruined, and he had to toss them out. On top of that, our McDonald's increased the price of McChicken to $1.59 just last week. I feel kind of bad. I'm so sick of McChickens. He's also mad at me for ruining his McChickens and his quote-unquote investment of $700. He claims I now owe him $1,000 because that's how much his investment increased in value. What?
Has this person ever heard of just like buying frozen chicken patties? Because I guarantee that's what's in a McChicken.
Clearly not. Is this not even the spicy McChicken? That's the one I like.
I mean, I think it's got to at least be the spicy one.
Let's hope. AITA for ruining the McChickens.
Oh my God. Like, this also, I want to be in a justified asshole land, but I'm like, you just went nuclear all of a sudden.
So
and you made all
nuclear.
this food go to waste. How does that solve anything?
It solves nothing.
Then you have to
Homebrew
deal
Ken.
with moldy McChicken. Like, that's got to smell worse, I'm assuming.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Unplugging a freezer? Never do that. Homebrew
Ew.
Ken backing me up here. I was kind of shooting from the hip. He says a freezer costs like a few cents a day to run, even old ones. $4 a month is an estimate I've seen for new ones. If he's eating many of these a day and saving 60 cents each time, he's saving much, much more than the cost of electricity. There we go with the fact check. The freezer was a good way to store.
There we go.
No jellyfish 1208. I'll have you know, fake jellyfish tank needed.
I was
Relax,
going to say
username.
that.
YTA, you destroyed the food worth $700 on purpose. The food belonged to someone else too. Do you even need to ask?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is an open and shut case just because, like, yeah, this guy is eating a disgusting amount of McChickens, but it's a classic just have a conversation and, like, actually manage the way these problems are manifesting. Like, if the place smells like McChicken, I actually think that is a valid thing. Like, we all have roommates who stink up our place, but if it's repetitive and it's kind of the same thing every time, like, that gets disgusting.
Yeah, then I think you have a claim to be like, stop with the fucking McChicken. Like,
Absolutely.
if you were to bring McDonald's home every once in a while and you don't like the smell, then you can't really say anything. Oh my God, I did the worst thing. I felt so bad. It was the middle of like heat wave last week, and I took I had salmon in my freezer. I defrosted it in the fridge. And then I was like, fuck, well, now I have to cook it because I already defrosted it. So it was like 95 degrees outside and I cooked salmon and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I apologize to my roommate.
Oh no. Why? Because it smells?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I know. I was like, I'm
Stinky,
sorry. I
fishy
didn't think it through.
Ugh. That just makes me think of like eating ramen when it's hot. Makes me ill. Yeah, I think this is a no-brainer. I do have to give OP credit, though. The notion of the McChickens being an investment is hilarious, and then they went up in 60% in value.
Like, I like the idea that he's earning interest on the McChickens.
But yeah, I mean, this is a classic. Just like talk to people. Don't just throw people's stuff away. I really think this is pretty cut and dry, much like a McChicken. It's a little too dry, if you ask me. Spend the money, get something juicy. AITA for throwing my roommate McChicken sandwiches out without telling him first. I think we agree wholeheartedly. A big YTA.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're going to wrap up here on AITA for not inviting my sister to my baby shower.
Warning, this is long.
This is very, very epic here.
I'm sorry.
Very, very epic. Guys, please rate, review, subscribe. Join us on Patreon and buckle up because this one is a doozy. I am 24F and I'm preggo with my first child. My sister's 30 and has 3 kids. Our relationship has been rocky to the point that there have been many times that we've gone months without talking. We would eventually fix it, but only if I was the one to reach out first. For example, almost 3 years ago, I was getting married. During the wedding planning process, I asked her to be my maid of honor. She accepted, and we were happy. When she started planning the bachelorette party, I gave her some ideas of things that I would want. I told her that I wanted to go to Nashville, preferably. But if that was too much for everyone, myself and most of my bridesmaids are still in college, that I just didn't want it to be in Atlanta because I went to school there and was always there, or Savannah because that's our hometown and I've been downtown there a lot. She refused to go anywhere other than Savannah because she did not want to leave her family for a weekend. Although I was upset, I tried to be appreciative because I wouldn't be putting much money into it. She then made a sample schedule for the weekend that included a bunch of things that I was not interested in. I asked to change some of the events to other options that were listed as possibilities, and she got very upset that I was trying to change it. Again, I let it go for the sake of causing less stress. Later, I asked her to come to Atlanta for one day to look at bridesmaids' dresses at the store that I've been looking at for months. She refused to come because she didn't want to be away from her family again, even though it was just for a day. We got in a big fight because I told her that I don't want to go to Savannah and the place in Atlanta has exactly what I'm looking for. She refused to go. Again, I gave in so that I would not have added stress. There was a lot more than just her going on behind the scenes. A few weeks later, I was about to leave work and she told me she needed addresses of everyone invited to the bachelorette party ASAP. I let her know I was not able to get them at the moment, but I would as soon as I could. She got mad, and I told her that I had seen this new idea where people were starting private Facebook groups for things like this. She immediately told me that I was trying to be controlling and did not want to be a part of the wedding anymore and blocked me so I could not call her. Jeez. I drove over to her house and tried to talk about it. She immediately began yelling at me and had her husband kick me out of her house. We didn't talk for 8 months leading up to the wedding. Damn, that's sad.
Jeez.
Eventually, we began speaking again and things were fine for a while. Fast forward 3 years. Wow, this is a saga, OP.
Yeah, sheesh.
My sister, her husband, 3 kids, and 2 dogs live with my parents while they're building a house. My sister has always said that she couldn't wait for me to have babies because then we could be closer.
No.
Yikes-a-roni.
Yeah,
because I would understand.
Yikes-a-roni. Maybe we should put that on a shirt, like Photoshop that onto a can of like rice-a-roni.
Oh, I love that. Because I would understand. Rice roti is not canned, Sarah. Have some respect for the San
I'm
Francisco
sorry.
treat.
I have no idea what it is.
It's delicious. Because I would understand where she was coming from on a lot of different things. So I figured that she would be really happy when she found out I was pregnant. My husband and I told her and the rest of our families the day after we found out, 4 weeks. She was so excited. And so were her kids since they're finally getting a cousin. The next day, I came over and was talking to my parents and her about all things baby. I decided to let her know early that there was going to be someone invited to our gender reveal that she did not like. It was her ex-best friend that she hooked up with our younger sister's ex-boyfriend. That's a long story in itself. Because my husband is close with a boyfriend and he would be invited. She immediately became upset. We ended up getting in a fight and she is refusing to come to my gender reveal. She told me that I was not loyal to her and that I was a bad aunt, a bad sister, and only worried about myself. I asked her to put her feelings aside for 3 hours to come to my gender reveal and explained that I was just trying to give her a heads up so that she was not blindsided. She's refusing to come and even started to plan a family vacay for the weekend of my gender reveal.
Okay, that's petty.
The vacay fell through, so my mom asked if she could take her kids to the gender reveal, even if she wasn't going to come. She said no. It has been about 12 weeks since we last talked, and in that time, I've barely been able to see my parents because she makes it so uncomfortable when I'm there, or my nieces and nephew. I feel really bad for the kids because every time I do see them, they always ask about the baby in my belly and tell me how excited they are that I'm having a baby and they're getting a cousin. But their mom, my sister, won't let them be around me or have anything to do with the baby, even when we've had our differences in the past. If there was something happening for the kids, birthdays, Christmas, recitals, school things, I would put my feelings aside and go for the kids. Our gender reveal is coming up, and the person she doesn't like will even be out of town for something she already planned. We haven't told my sister this, partly because we aren't talking, and also because we want her to make the choice to put her feelings aside on her own. My other sister and my mom are preparing to start planning the baby shower now, and I made my invite list. I left her off for now. AITA for that? I just don't want negative energy there or someone that does not care for me or my baby there to just save face.
My God. Ugh.
This is honestly, OP, first of all, let me just say I feel for you.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of drama in my extended family, and it reads very similar to this. And frankly, and I don't mean this in any kind of a mean way, as one of the commenters wrote, it is very exhausting.
Yeah.
And Bonnie A wrote that. She said, "You're both exhausting. I feel like a lot's been left out, and it was all exhausting too." And here's, and I don't really have the answer, but I'm going to just take a stab. And what I think happens with families is feelings get hurt, and then because you're family, you kind of come together again because they're family. But then things don't get solved because a phrase I notice you using repeatedly is like, "Oh, well, put your feelings away." And I think it's very, very difficult for people to do that, even though I agree with you that a lot of times it is the right move. I mean, I really don't have the answer here because it's sad, and it makes me sad because I know there's love beneath this.
Yeah.
You know, but what do you do?
I
What
don't
do you
know.
do?
I mean, on the one hand, I'm like, they both sound exhausting, kind of. On the other hand, I can feel for OP because it's like, I feel like she's been trying to get her sister to like play by the rules and play nice for years. And the sister has no interest in doing that. And it's like when you have someone who just refuses to play nice and by just like, I don't know, common conventions of like courtesy, you're just fighting you're playing a losing game that you're never going to win. Like if someone won't even do what you want for your own bachelorette party, like you're never bringing this person around.
Oh, okay. So I misunderstood. So when OP's sister was planning the bachelorette party of OP.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And like
okay.
some of this I think is reasonable. Like, look, like you can't necessarily expect, it's great to have your sister at your wedding dress shopping event, but like I don't think you can take it too personally that she doesn't want to leave her family of like 3 young kids to go to a different city to like watch you wedding dress shop. Like I think that's one of those like more minor events. But like the bachelorette party is a big thing where this girl is just, she's not listening. Like it's just like you can't reason with someone like this.
Yeah, okay, this is starting to click now. This is starting to click in now. Okay, I misunderstood the bachelorette party thing. I thought that was OP kind of managing sister's bachelorette party. Okay, this is shifting me greatly. This is what I see here then. Sister is 30, so this is her little sister. So sister kind of thinks like, well, I'm in charge. I'm the older sister. I call the shots around here. And I know this sister does not let shit go. She is not one to let things go, which is super toxic, right? Like super toxic. Like if you want to set a boundary and never talk to someone again, that's one thing. But to emotionally hold on to that, like that is so toxic. Like I have cut people out of my life, but like I'm I don't badmouth them. I don't even think okay, I'm not gonna say that I haven't, but I've worked on and thought like, no, I have no reason to badmouth them. I have no reason to think negatively about them. I sincerely have spent time just really trying to just wish them the best because the truth is I do. Why not? They're not in my life. Good for them.
But it's free. Wishing someone the best is free. It costs you like no energy to just be like, yep, I hope they're good.
Absolutely.
Not doing better than me, of course.
No, I hope they're doing better than me because I lost my glasses in the Pacific and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy,
You're right.
folks.
The bar is kind of low.
Absolutely. So I see that a lot here in Sister. And this was absolutely messed up that, that she kind of commandeered your bachelorette party and didn't listen to you. And, not listening seems to be kind of a running theme here.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, this is a lot. And,
I mean, it's kind of like this. This is so far beyond like, are you the asshole in this isolated circumstance? It's like no, and obviously we have, I feel, decades of backstory here. Like
Absolutely.
It's just beyond this at this point.
It's so beyond. But look, I guess the answer at least is that OP, you've definitely been wronged and these are definitely sins against you. And you definitely have a right to kind of sculpt your life around the fact that this relationship does not have a great prognosis to be fixed, right? Because really the only way you can repair a relationship is if both people can really listen and really be open to hearing each other's side and then committing to probably therapy, but at least committing to change and hearing each other. And frankly, I don't think your sister has ever done that for you. If she didn't do it for your bachelorette party, then why would she do it over this conflict, which is probably extremely emotional for her?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's true.
Jania J, NTA, your sister is a massive asshole. She's been gaslighting you for years and blames you for most everything. That means it's time to act like she no longer exists till she can pull her head out of her ass. Vanessa F, ESH, you are both exhausting. I had this thought, Sarah. Sometimes when you like cut someone out of your life, one thing that is so true is that you hope that they'll realize, they'll go, oh my God, they cut me out of their life. And that will push them to be introspective. And they'll finally be like, oh, because that's where they're, I'm blindsided. I'm shocked that you would cut me out of your life. But they totally probably won't. Because they weren't being introspective. They probably won't even
notice or like it's your fault somehow. Like, yeah. This is what I'm saying. It's like you're trying to play, I don't know. I can't really use a better analogy than like you're trying to play a game with someone who doesn't play by the rules and you're trying to play a clean game, but like they'll never do that.
Never.
And you'll just like, you'll never win. Like you'll never bring them over to your side. That's it.
Very, very rarely. I mean, I have been cut out of someone's life, and I will say it took years, but eventually I did really like come to terms with it. And that's part of why I became sober, because I was like, all the bad shit that happened to me and other people related to alcohol. And I mean, it did take years to be like, oh shit, yeah, okay. Oh, that was valid. I see now. Because it's a desperate move to be like, yo, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because really it comes from a place of feeling trapped. And I think it feels trapped because it's like, well, if we can't engage and we can't solve these problems and you can't put your feelings away and keep it cordial, then what is there? Then you're just an emotional terrorist.
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
Whisper M, NTA, she seems very, quote unquote, everything revolves around me, and it's important that you make choices that are healthy for you and your new family. She is not acting grown or adult at all, and Lord have mercy for her kids who have to grow up with such instability and manipulation. She sounds like a narc. Well,
I like appropriating narc, not from like a tattletale, but to narcissist. That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think narc is so thrown around these days. Narcissist.
I mean,
everyone has
I agree. So are so many mental health terms, and I don't feel so comfortable with it because it's like, I don't know, some people are just assholes. And also there are also plenty of people who have mental illnesses or personality disorders who like aren't huge assholes. So whatever. I think we both agree that this sister sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I like what my dad said on the recent episode. This just isn't really a productive way of approaching a problem. That doesn't mean you can't sit there and think that and psychoanalyze them, because you're probably in pain and you'll want to understand it. But if you're approaching someone, at least, I think he is spot on with that. There's just no point in analyzing their behavior from that perspective, or there's really no point in bringing it up to them if you were trying to solve the problem. That's it.
Yeah, I agree.
So Stephanie N, yikes, I can't even begin to really help. But one example, why would you invite a fight into your day by telling your sister about who you are inviting someone she hates to a stupid party in the future? You're making your own drama and get zero sympathy from me. No, she told her because she wanted to invite that person. And frankly, to me, that was a huge mark against the sister, and we started to learn a little bit about her character, because how many freaking years was this? How many freaking years ago was that, the ex-boyfriend cheating thing?
I don't even know what it's about completely, but it just sounds a little ridiculous.
It was her ex-best friend that she hooked up with our younger sister's ex-boyfriend. So it doesn't even sound like this was once her best friend who had, after their relationship, hooked up with the ex-boyfriend. So there's no cheating. The word cheating isn't there. So I really am reading sister as someone, this person gets wronged and she takes that shit to the grave, which is so toxic and frankly a nightmarish way to live.
Yeah.
AITA for not inviting my sister to my baby shower. I think we're aligned here, right? We're definitely going. Not the asshole and the sister is.
We are.
Tough stuff, family stuff. We got to get a family therapist on here. I'd love to know how
that
we
would
could...
be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a therapist scheduled, by the way. Someone reached out to me on Twitter, so that was fantastic. And they said that they're happy to hear I'm in therapy and they think I could have successful therapy. And they apologized for some of my bad therapists, which I thought was very thoughtful.
I feel like you just had bad luck for sure.
I know, right? I do start therapy tomorrow, so that'll be exciting.
Good luck.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. As usual, feel free to reach out and AITApod.com for your juicy submissions, and join us on Patreon, patreon.com/AITApod. And please rate, review, subscribe. And we will see you next Monday morning. Thanks for giving me a Wednesday release, guys. I had to take a little break.
Bye.